Yo, yo, yo. Welcome back to the channel. I bet you weren't expecting this when you clicked on this video. I bet you weren't. Imagine if I analyzed and I was actually this big the entire time and you just couldn't even see the charts the whole time. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not one of these YouTube people that's gonna that's used to looking at the camera while I'm doing this shit. The screen is right here. I got it all cropped up. I got everything figured out. So bear with me. They say when you look away from the camera and stuff, it makes you look shifty and dishonest, whatever. You're just gonna have to think I'm a liar. All right. That's just what it is. Oh, what's up, everybody? All right, look, I'm gonna make myself smaller now. I bet you I can program a button on my keyboard to make that happen really fast, but I don't know what that button is yet. How's everybody doing? Hopefully, you guys are having a good day out there. Man, what a day in the markets. SPY up 1.4%. Dude, it's 2 days ago, everybody thought that the world was going to end. I got to look at myself and make sure everything's good because I just hit my green screen. But everybody thought the world was going to end. And we were making videos talking about how the world potentially wasn't going to end. And it was completely based on technical analysis. So it's just really weird how this stuff works out. I will say that I am surprised by SPY's move here because we have exited the key liquidity zone that we were talking about without testing 410. So I'm not going to take too much credit on that. And also, look, remember we were drawing out this how the 9-week EMA and the 21 week EMA were going to kind of play this role of support here. This is still totally possible, and as you can see here, 420 is coming up here for SPY, which is obviously a big psychological level. You have the potential to get turned around there, but and obviously you're getting rejected in after hours here, but overall, I think that pretty much everybody was calling for downside the past few days, and we were saying, look, I don't think that we go lower than 410 for sure. And look, you hit 411 and you got sent right back up. Now, does this mean that you just continue up? Not necessarily. I think that let's take a look at some Fibonacci here and see what we can do. I mean, look, this market, it is so crazy how SPY has been just working 707. We talk about 707 every day on the channel. And SPY is, on whatever time frame you want, just nailing 707 from a macro perspective. So, if you're following a FinTwit person or something, and they're using Fibonacci and they're not using 707 in analysis, if they haven't added that to their Fib, just comment on their video and just be like, yo, there's this guy on YouTube. You just put a 707. You don't have to tell them it's me or whatever, but I'm just saying, okay? So I'll just show you because it happened a few times today. We absolutely hopped on a rocket ship towards the end of the day, and to be honest with you, I don't even know the fundamental reason. I was at the gym, and then I get in my car. I'm in the gym doing leg day with my buddy. I get in the car, and I see that SPY's got this big old FU candle on the hourly chart. I'm gonna have to go look at the news. That's what technical analysis does for you. It's kind of weird, but that's the way it is. These paths were pre-drawn from the video yesterday. It looks like you're getting turned around right where I drew it, but let me show you the 707 thing. All right, so because everybody talks about 618s, and I'm not shading 618s because 618s are very important in the Fibonacci sequence, okay? But you can see here, let me make sure this is on log because my thing has been taking it off of log every day. I don't know what's up with that. So how do I want to? Okay. So you can see here, actually, this was a 786. Look at me. I'm a freaking liar. You can see that you actually were finding support on the 707 for this previous bounce. So once you failed that liquidity, and the way that works is from a volume perspective. Let's look at the 1-day chart here. This volume at the end of the day just really wonks out this volume chart. So the way that works here is you come down, you test the 707, right, which is this bottom yellow line. And sellers were still present. Buyers did not jump in to protect this price point. You come back down again. Buyers aren't as strong as sellers again. Sellers outweighing buyers on the volume candles that you can see here. Hopefully you can see. Yeah, you can see there. And so that's the reason that you come back down. Boom, sellers come in, you test the 786. Ultimately find it as support. Look at this volume jump in once you cross back over the golden pocket, right? You come back down, you test 707 again before you get your move up. So then there was a key moment in the day. Sorry, I got a lot of fibs going on here. I think if you draw from here down to here, there you go. So now we're scaled in. We have a new Fibonacci that we drew, reverse, right? And you can see here, you come back down, you bottom out at 414 here, which, let's see, was that our 707 here, or was that the 786? That was just past the 786. On the retracement of this move down, nail 707, get rejected down to 505. Even double top this 707, right? You see that? You never reach the 786. If you're trading the 707, you're nailing this move at 417 before you get the uptick. And again, this is a volume-based trade, right? So let me zoom in here because the volume's all wonked out, because during the day you don't have that problem. What I'm saying is you have this big old volume candle at the end of the day that's just throwing the rest of the chart's volume in the trash, which happens every day. But again, you'll have to, the larger move is accumulation here, okay guys? So like looking at the larger swooping move, just like we talked about yesterday, you have this liquidity zone here, and you have this big blank space. Again, like this is all just this territory that needs to be traded out, needs to be figured out if you're looking at the more macro chart. And we're not going to zoom in and look at that right now. But I think that you have more 707 action for us to analyze. So actually you just nailed 0.5s here. There was another retracement that was 707. But regardless, look, trust me, bro. Add 707 to the fib. On a day-to-day basis, the 707 is a highly effective retracement level that you're seeing in these markets, and it's been that way. It's been that way in this entire like bearish trend that we've been in since December. Like day-to-day 707. You zoom out, you look at a few weeks worth of price action. 707s are getting nailed. So I'm just saying. Now, where do we think that we are now? I think that we need to look at the daily chart, take a look at where volume is telling us that things are going to go. Looks like sellers overall are in control here, in my opinion, okay? Does that mean that we don't see more upside? Not necessarily. I will say that if this trend continues, if you continue to see bears have more volume as you retrace, because like you're not just going to infinitely go up here. And I think Powell's supposed to speak tomorrow, so even tomorrow you can get sent back down back into this trading range again, which will be a big rejection for bears. And I actually am mostly expecting that to happen. I think that we at least have to test 410 in my opinion on SPY before we come back up and retest this bear trend that we have, which is drawn from December. We can even scoot this down a little bit here if you wanted to do it based on closes. And I remember this actually being like a key. Was that day where you had that big bear trap sort of gap up? I'm pretty sure this was, and then you had this hammer. So maybe this trend is actually even better to draw in SPY in this manner. I mean, overall, it's not about like nailing the penny. Overall, you have this trend, right? And similar here, you're kind of having this explosive move up with these reversal candles down, right? You're kind of getting rejected on these bear trends. And what this is indicative of, honestly, is institutions are just offloading shares at these highs, right? They're slowly selling off shares here. And then they're buying back in, so they can offload a little bit more, buy back in at these lows so that they can increase their average, make their average better whenever they're shorting out of the market, so that then they can reaccumulate at bottoms. And there is potential that this is a local market bottom that we've experienced. But I will say that as long as you see bears really coming in at this uptrend, I mean the higher downtrend here, the red, when bears step in and they're beating out bulls on volume, and for this is a good example of like how to look at things like with Composite Man, right? I'm saying bears and bulls. In reality, I don't know if I necessarily believe that this is like a competitive, like people are trading against each other type of thing. I think mostly the chart's path is predetermined by institutions. All of this, like the bear trend, the way that news is released, everything like that is all by plan. Like this, none of this is like an accident or anything like that. This is algorithmic, institutional, big money, people with so much liquidity that they have effortless control over the price of markets, controlling the price. And so what we're doing on the channel here is we're trying to remove our emotional bias, remove all of that from the picture, and really look at the price action, pay attention to the narratives, and try and combine those things together to come to the conclusion of where we think that they want the market to go, right? So it's not bears versus bulls. Really what it is does he want the market to go up or does he want the market to go down? And in the short term, I'd say that he probably wants the market to go down. We have to test 410. I don't think that this test of 411 was enough. You don't have enough volume coming here. Now, tomorrow, if you press through, if Powell comes out and says something that's incredibly bullish, I don't want an Elliott wave. I want a path. If he says something bullish, like tomorrow you're probably gapping down. If he comes out and says something crazy bullish, you get a crazy volume push over the course of the next few days, and you break through this EMA, which was the 200-day EMA. I mean, not EMA. Dude, I say EMA so often because I use those more frequently, but right now I'm looking at moving averages because that's where this key rejection occurred. If you break through this downtrend and you break through this moving average with high volume, bears are SOL, dude. If you're sitting in puts, you're going to get washed. You're going to get absolutely washed. You're probably pressing higher into the 460s with a quickness, like the blink of an eye type thing. So just be prepared for that. And I mean, really, if you want to simplify this, you break above 432 with volume, you're getting sent on a moon mission quickly. On the flip side, you break down through 408 on volume, you retest it, and you fail, you're probably getting sent down to a 707, baby. That's probably what's going to happen. So what that would look like overall is you're probably going to come back, revisit 380. And to be honest with you, the chart kind of looks like it wants that, in my opinion. So I would say that until this bear trend that we have at the top, right, this red line, is broken with conviction, or this green trend is broken with conviction, high volume, and to be honest with you, look, you had high volume for sellers, but you could make the argument this was sell climax. Bulls stepped in, protect the line, and this volume on a more macro basis, right? Bulls have dominated this most recent rally in a way that they did not dominate the previous rallies within this trading range. So you're kind of at a 50, you know, and this was the main message of the past few videos, right? You're going to trade in this range, this 410 to 420-ish range, and I think that this is the ultimate test right now to figure out if we're going to break this bear trend, make local highs, at least test 460 again, or if you're going to create lower lows and you're going to break lower than that 360 zone, and what would that look like? I mean, from a more macro perspective, I didn't mean to move my volume that way. From a more macro perspective, you grab your Fibonacci from the COVID low here. Let me make sure everything's on log and correct. Yeah, so you really what you have is you got turned around. I really don't like this Fibonacci. What was the Fibonacci that we were using before? Did we use it at the start of the uptrend here? Yeah, there it is. Yeah, so just a quick note for Fibonacci, right quick. You want to find the relevant you want to find the relevant fib, right? So you can take that all-time COVID low, or you can take the start of the move back up, which is this green candle that you just absolutely gapped your ass off. Like you just gapped way up, right? And that's the start of the new bullish move. And I feel like this is actually more indicative of the price action that's happened. I know that the chart's getting a little loud. There's a lot going on, so let me make it a little bit simplified. Cool it off a little bit. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the. How's the camera, by the way? Like, I don't know. I can't watch myself while I'm making the video or whatever. So like, is the quality good? Everything look good? Whatever. Comment down below. Let me know. But yeah. So basically, you came down. You tested this 382 very well. I mean, this is a beautiful 364 jab. Clear. You nail that level. You push right up to the 236. And you push right through. So looking really good as far as this finishing as a 382 retracement. And a lot of bears will be very sad about this bear market because remember, you entered a technical bear market for I think literally days, and then it just kind of ended. And look, you're with this sell off, you have all this gapping down. It's not the it does look like a final kind of, this looks like on a more macro basis, this does look like the bear trend could be coming to an end relatively soon. Maybe, you want to come back down and like I said, test this like 390, 380, 400, 380 to 400. And again, we're talking in a way more macro sense. So I know you're saying like 380 to 400, that's a huge range, but like in a more macro sense, it's a relatively small range. Maybe you come back down, you test here. If you reaccumulate, you can press right back through. And that would be breaking this bear trend again. So let's draw that. Let's get that bear trend back out. You'd be breaking it just way lower, right? Over 404 there. This actually looks really good. As a backup, last point of support, you retest this region of the chart, you break right through. I mean, overall, I think that in the relative short term, right, over the course of the next few months, like by the end of the year, you could see more bottoming. Let's see what that looks like on this. That's your golden pocket. I mean, this looks pretty convincing. I mean, maybe you press down to this 382 or something, and it's that sort of move out. I'm not gonna make a decision today on whether or not I think that we're gonna press lower than 360 or whatever the local bottom is for SPY, but I think that these are some pretty interesting conversations to be having right now. I think that retail overall just wants the bear market to continue. They want the market crash. And if you were following this channel back when SPY was trading at like 380 or something, after this 360 low, and we're trading along this bottom trend here, you can go back and look at this date range. I posted a couple videos in this date range, late June, early July-ish, and I say, guys, there's gonna be a bull rally, and then probably when we were at like 390 or something, I remember tweeting, I'm like a bull, I'm tired of being a bull in the closet or something is what I said, and I think we're gonna get a rally. And I had people replying to me like, oh no, this is the relief rally, we're about to press lower and blah blah blah. And I'm just sitting here like, bro, like I'm sitting here like, bro, we're testing this downtrend. Yeah, this is literally what was going on. I'm like, we're testing this downtrend right now. If we break this thing, we're rallying. And that's exactly what we did. And look at how simple this really is, right, guys? Like, I've shown you in this video how you can find those relevant levels, right? I've shown you as well. You can see this trend getting broken in this way. I know it's not perfectly drawn, but you get the idea, right? this trend drawn from really the key points just to show you, right? This rejection here, these rejections here, and I know it's not super accurate, whatever, you get the idea, right? Starting from these 2 points, right? Boom, boom. As soon as you broke here, you retested and you blasted off. You blasted right off, right? Guess what? I bet you these are Fibonacci levels, right? You curl right at your 618. You break down, right? This was the Fibonacci you could have drawn. If you would have said, you know what, that was the bottom, based on the macro Fibonacci that we drew earlier, if you were able to determine that, look at where we turned around. Dude, come on, man. This is your retracement. You're building up. Boom. You get rejected off of your 382. Okay, I am convicted that the 707 is the best retracement level in this market right now. Is that not what I said? Is that not what I said? Every day, right? 382. Boom. You reject down. Guess what? Say you take the move, right? The most recent move. You nail this previous downtrend as support. Not the best fib. Almost a 382 though. Sorry, you probably can't see that very well. Let me hide this momentarily. How do I do that shit? So zooming in. You nailed the 382. You absolutely cement this 382 with this downtrend. Perfect. This is what I'm saying. Like, do you honestly think that human beings, come on, man, you really think that human beings are sitting there and making this sort of thing happen? No. Hopefully you see what I'm talking about, right? So then let's bring the other fib back. You can see here, you got inversely rejected. You found support on the local 382. You push right through. Where do you, the next level, the 0.5, you have some chop that happens on the 0.5. You've cemented a support with good volume. See how the volume jumps in for bulls? Boom, you're pressing back up. I just messed up the fib. You blast through your golden pocket. This right here, people who talk about Fibonacci talk about the 618, and some of them talk about the 6.5, which is a golden pocket. Most people just talk about the 618. They're not really talking about the 6.5. No one talks about the 707. You go through, and the 707 gets nailed in correlation with this downtrend. You get rejected back underneath here. This is a short. And this is where we were saying, look, you have the potential. If you press higher, right? If you break this 432, you could press higher. You could press into the 440s. Remember, that's what we said. As soon as you came back and you got back underneath this downtrend, it's a goner, right? So this is the power of technical analysis, right? All the bad news starts happening at these convenient moments. Remember, the gap down was when China, dude, Nancy Pelosi went to China. How long ago? Nancy Pelosi went to China, I don't know, SPY was probably around here, July or something. No one cared. I was talking to Trey about this on the phone. No one cared. But think about the fundamental, implications of that are, like, she goes to Taiwan. China is going to be upset with that. Russia already doesn't like us. All these things, right? So, but no one cared. Then you break down back below this downtrend, technically, right? You close, and then the news comes out that China and Russia are in bed, and they're mad at the United States. I'm looking at my screen. I should look at the camera. That's a bad habit. I like looking at myself because I'm a very, very full of myself. What I'm saying is, suddenly, Russia and China care so much about Pelosi coming to Taiwan. It's like a month later, right? But we should have fundamentally known that, but the market just keeps marking up. Like, why was the price pressing up? Because institutions wanted to offload. This is not exactly where I thought this video was going to go. Where are we at? 24 minutes. I didn't think that the video was going to last this long. I'm not going to make a separate video, so I'm not going to clickbait this title. But if you stayed this long and you want to see crypto and Bitcoin and crypto and AMC and ape analysis, it's your lucky day. So Bitcoin actually, while I'm making this video, is getting pressed down underneath this uptrend. Let's draw a new uptrend. I'm looking at the minute chart here. I am actually in a long on Bitcoin. I would have entered. I don't remember when I entered the long. But this is the path that we pre-drew for Bitcoin. So I mean, this is working pretty well. A little bit more aggressive to the downside than we thought initially, but you're seeing the general price action is playing out the way that we thought it would. Overall, I mean, yeah, I think that you probably press lower here on Bitcoin. Let's see. Let's draw here. This is your total retracement. I think that you end up holding this green uptrend was the conviction that we had before. You got rejected down below this. So you're going to be looking for support on Bitcoin. Yeah, somewhere in this 21,500 range. But you are getting a little bit more range bound. You're squeezing a little bit tighter on Bitcoin. So obviously a big move is coming to either direction. I wouldn't be fully convinced to either direction until you break one of these trend lines. I always chart in log. If you didn't know that, or you're new to the channel or whatever, I always chart in log. I do not chart in linear ever, pretty much. So overall, crypto, I think you're probably going to trade sideways going into tomorrow, and then you'll probably get a break to either direction on a more macro scale. 26th. So tomorrow, yeah. So tomorrow, maybe evening. Well, tomorrow afternoon, probably you'll get a break. And I think that'll probably be conveniently lined up with Jerome Powell's speech or whatever is going on tomorrow. Let's see. Ethereum, I still think that you're rounding up. Look at these paths, man. These paths are OP, man. This is like the fourth or fifth path that I've pulled up, and you're kind of like nailing, right? So maybe you press back down here on Ethereum. Let's see the start of the move. Yeah, you're sitting right at your 618. Maybe you pop up to 1735. I'd be looking at probably shorting at, if you get as high as 1767, I'd probably be looking at a short opportunity. But I think you press down a little bit earlier here. Maybe you tap this 1735 before you get sent down. Retest this 1652-ish region. I think you're looking at a little bit of a shakeup tomorrow in the broader markets, I'd say. Ape, just like we said yesterday, we were pretty much expecting a move down to be occurring. You just have this really rounding out kind of bearish price action that's occurring, where price is just unnaturally hanging a little bit higher in range than it normally would. And that's the beauty of getting some more chart data on one of these newer charts, right? So I'd expect still you're going to see a further retracement on Ape. I know that this chart's a little noisy. I was messing with it before we started the video. We're still looking at the same retracement levels, everything like that. I think that you do end up pressing down. We were saying 632. You bounced right off of it, and you are rounding out. You look like you're bottoming out here a little bit on Ape, actually. If you can cement 662 as support tomorrow and press through $7, then maybe you continue. You might be done with this retracement here. I would probably say that I'm like 60-40 bearish rest of like going into next week on Ape. But AMC on the other hand, I am liking the price action on AMC's chart. I've been saying that for a few days now. This is the path that we drew out. That was probably like the more macro path, obviously. But yeah, I mean, this is pretty much what I'm expecting to be happening. You're seeing the same thing, right? You're just kind of rounding out. Your price action is, I think the gap down kind of look. I mean, this chart is technically trading in this way. I know somebody said that Webull like adjusted so that this gap doesn't exist here anymore. But I think that the way that this is going to trade is this. This just looks. It's starting to look like the chart is finding itself more naturally here. So this is how I'm going to continue to trade the chart. I love TradingView, so I'm going to stick with TradingView. I'm going to trust them. And I think, yeah, you just kind of continue this rounding out sort of look, and it might not happen tomorrow, and it might take a few weeks or whatever. But I think that as you press up and through here, you're gonna get some volatility to the upside, and I really like this region being like a pretty local bottom for AMC. I mean, you could press down, of course, as always. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and like guarantee that you don't press down. But I think overall, on a macro level, you look like you want to just hold this level of support, this $10-ish kind of macro Fibonacci level. So that's where I stand on everything. I know that this video is a little long. Yeah, we're at 30 minutes now. This is a little long compared to the other videos recently, but hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully camera's cool, stuff like that. Oh, I can switch to my other. Can I just like? No, that's not. I would have to be clicked into this. Okay, so once I'm clicked into it, I can then move the arrow down. So hopefully you enjoyed the video and you enjoyed my sweaty Dave self sitting here talking to you in person, live and direct. If you're new to the channel, you probably think that I sound like an idiot because everybody has a camera, but I didn't have a camera set up before this. I've had this camera, this A7 III. It's a Sony A7 III. I've probably had it for like 2 years. And all I needed was a $10 HDMI to like micro HDMI cord to plug it into my computer because I already had the Elgato whatever that I needed to plug it into my computer, everything. I just needed a $10 cord, dude. And that was the difference between us. I had the green screen already. I've had this for years. That was the difference between me having a camera and not. So that just shows you a little bit of my character. Real stand-up guy. All right. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and until next time. Wait, so now you can see me if I sing? That's a little... I can't pretend like the video's over anymore. Because, like, you can see me. I was thinking about a song to sing on here the other day. Oh, the other thing is I'm going to have to, like, keep my neck beard down and stuff because you can see me now. So I don't know if I don't know. I might cancel the camera, dude. I'm not going to lie. Because, like, now I'm going to have to, like, maintain my look. I'm going to have to, like, not, like, be a total bum anymore. What's up with that, dude? Peace. Oh, Discord, free Discord, bunch of people sharing charts, stuff like that, completely free. I don't have a paid version of it or anything like that. In the description down below, Twitter, down below, follow me there. And until next time. Oh, shit. Oh, no. See, that's what I'm talking about, dude. Like, what if I mess with my hair and then, like, I'm looking all, like, crazy and, like, I just forget about it because I'm not used to having a camera on me? All right, peace.